The following program is rated TV PG. Viewer discretion is advised.
Change is something that cannot be imagined by the mind, but seen through the conscious and experienced by the soul.
So please stand up and let the future know where, not where, but when. If when, then let us begin.
Again, it's still about supply and demand. So when we talk about the so-called black businesses that are left, the only way to really survive is that you have to be more creative. You have to consider the needs or the demands of the current population and begin to accommodate them and incorporate them into your business. That is the only way to survive. You have to be multi-dimensional instead of one-dimensional. You have to be more flexible in your outlook and your perspective, and just more creative in finding ways to bring in more income, to serve the needs of the population. It teaches in the art of war. It says that the art of war teaches us not to rely on the likelihood of the enemy not coming, but on our readiness to receive him. Not on him not attacking, but on the fact that we have made our position unassailable. One of the ways that we move forward as a people is to kind of take a step backwards, or to reach backwards to a time where we all, there was a point in history where we did very well, and that point was actually before we integrated. You had many black businesses and things of that nature because we were forced to support each other, right? And I think that it's important for us to go back to that model. We need to support each other, right? We need, if you have a few dollars to spend, and even if it's a little more, support a brother that looks like you, support a sister that looks like you, keep the money circulating throughout our own communities, and that's our protection. I once heard that we are the only group of people who our dollars don't go through our communities at all. It doesn't pass through our hands, right? Where in other groups of people, it passes as much as 14 to 17 times, right? So when you think about survival for us as a people, it comes with us supporting each other, right? Also understanding the dynamics of redevelopment, revitalization, or gentrification, and knowing what that entails, how it's going to affect us, and to put yourself in a position where you will be unaffected the least, right? Which oftentimes means putting yourself in a position where you can get a greater source of income.
It's gentrification, and I don't think about it much, but I think in some ways that it's good, in some ways that it's bad. The ways that it's bad is that it kind of pushes a certain demographic away from their original origin, and it kind of separates the two different types of people. And I think that we should all be living in the same communities, have the opportunity to live in the same communities no matter our income. I think that's healthy for everybody if everybody can live in the same community no matter their income. I think the government should make that happen, and that's my take on it.
we as black people, especially in the district, had to start investing in ourselves. We had to start investing in the black businesses that are left. We had to start investing in and putting forth an effort to build new businesses. You know, we had to start investing in the black churches that are left, and we also had to start investing in a better educational system. You know, once we start investing in our community and building up our community, then we can expand. But the problem is, I won't say other communities. Our community is I guess you could say, building up for another race and another culture that is not our own and is not ultimately beneficial to our own. We had to start investing in our own selves. Once we start investing in ourselves and start uplifting ourselves and start supporting each other and starting other businesses up, then we can expand. They're expanding because they're starting, other people are succeeding in expanding in our city because starting up their own businesses. They're starting their own businesses and they're investing in their own race. You know, we as black people have to start investing in our own race. We have to start investing in our own people. Once we start investing in our own people, investing in our own race, creating new businesses, you know, helping the black churches, you know, the smaller ones as well as the bigger ones, you know, coming together as a community, start developing plans, start investing in black banks. People don't know there are a lot of black banks in DC. A lot of black banks. You know, it's a nice, I wouldn't say it's a whole, you know, it's a nice handful of black banks that people don't know about. Once we start putting our money in black banks and investing in ourselves, then we can come to the understanding of, okay, this is how they accumulated wealth, this is what we need to do.